for joining us today, yet on another great episode of Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwe. We start off today with our newspapers, and right after that, in a jiffy, would be our main conversation also. Please do well to be part of what we do. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We're very so honored to have with us right here in our studios Innocent Adoluba, journalist, public affairs analyst, to see through all we have from our newspapers and, of course, getting through our main conversations for today. Thank you so very much, Innocent, for being here.
Good morning, Harry. It's always my pleasure.
Yeah, you look very dapper.
Oh, well, I'm trying to project a good image of Nigeria.
That's interesting to hear. And I want to believe on today's episode, we will do just that. But of course, let's start off with the first daily on our desk, coming from the Vanguard newspaper. We just have a story, just one story from the Vanguard newspaper, because a larger part of it has been taken over by Tantita and their tribute to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And it is on Benue killings, a gory ordeal by survivors. Innocent Adoluba, interestingly, Nigerians are still trying to understand how bad the situation is. It took, yesterday we had a discussion on how bad the situation is for the fact that it took the intervention of the Pontiff from Rome to have gotten the attention of the president to the attack in Benue. But right now, what do you make of the situation as it stands today?
Oh, well, it's a pity. It's a pity. And, you know, the recent news is that Tinubu, the president, visiting Benue. This is my take. Nigeria should beware of expensive propagandas and bogus speeches when it pertains to human lives that are being lost steadily. The summary is human life well-being is not a pawn for politicking. How many local governments are in Benue? 23. Is there any release, any confirmation that each local government, in the face of this skating insecurity, does not have a drone, Henry? So why am I saying this? Nigerians are tired of hearing that, killer Fulani headsmen or bandits or unidentified people, whoever they are, or Boko Haram, came to kill in Benue or Plateau, came with motorbikes, 50, 100 people, and an hour, 30 minutes after the police arrive and see those people have disappeared. Did they disappear into a pit? Into a tunnel? Did they go subterranean? Is there a big lake or river? Is there a submarine? Were they submerged? So if you came in the aftermath of the departure of the assailants, can a drone tell us where they are going? Because they will strike again. You know, these people come in caravan. You hear the ordeal of the survivors. Oh, they had sophisticated weapons. There was the video by the very dark man. Yeah. So that is a naked expose. Yeah, I mean, it's incontrovertible, Henry. So those people struck. Apparently, they are still in the States.
Very well.
Where have one drone or the other detected? Are they invisible to drones? In fact, let me ask that one.
But just before we even talk about drones here, you did say they come like caravans.
Yes.
And I would love to believe they weren't invincible. They passed through a network of road. I would love to believe there are checkpoints there. So can we say that this is complicity on the part of the government and maybe the security architecture in Benue State?
You see, it's neither here nor there. And so when you say certain things, certain people get uncomfortable. The principal function of government is to secure lives and property. The continuity of the government giving excuses is tacit support for killing of Benue people. Because policy is the action or inaction of government. That's what policy is. If the government goes to protect Benue people, forestall killing, save them, arrest killers, prosecute, the policy of the government is visible, is to protect lives. Now, if repeatedly the government is how they are now, then to that extent, it is the policy of the government to watch Benue people being killed. Yes, that's policy, is the action or inaction of the government. And to that extent is why you hear pockets of demonstrations, the Benue youth blocking roads. These are roads manned by the Federal Road Safety or police, and these people still come through. The reason I am advocating for drones is, granted that they've infiltrated the state, they no longer operate openly on highways and major roads. They seek covers, you know, covered places. Is why I'm asking, what are drones for? Right now, we have not heard that a killing happened today. Is today 18th or 17th?
So 18th.
So we have not heard that on the 18th of June 2025, any killing has happened. Neither can we authenticate that the last of the killings have been heard, Henry. So, in being proactive, so you can secure life or minimize damage. What is happening now that we've not heard of any strike? Because as soon as we hear of an attack, a legion of or a platoon of security people will go there, make speeches, console people, and walk away. It's like a sequence. The one agriculture will call shifting cultivation. They happen here. As these people are mourning, they go here. The one they narrated by the survivors to Very Dark Man.
Yes.
The man said the police did their best.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I say it's neither here nor there. But that the bandits or whoever attacked the police station. And everybody in the town heard that the police station is under attack.
But don't we have an army formation in Benue State?
I'm coming. While trying to contain that, these bandits now struck the village. So there is a tactic, there is a strategy of distraction. Can you see what happened? Then there is this woman I watched on, let me mention it, Arise TV, yes. Dr. Achakwa.
Okay.
She also said the security people at that place where she went were narrated to have done their best. So, Henry, like I'm saying, it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
It's neither here nor there. Benue, vast as it is, among Nigeria's possibly top 10 largest states, has only one army barrack in Makurdi.
Well, every state comes with an army barrack. So
Note, there are some in Cross River.
Okay.
You have in Calabar, in Eburutu, and in Akim. Then you have in Ikom. I think they have some in around Ogoja.
Okay.
You know. So it's not like a state is entitled to only one. I mean, this is Lagos. You have in Ikeja cantonment. Lagos is about less than half the land size of Benue. You have in Ikeja cantonment. You have in Ojo.
Yes.
Can you see that? You have at Ojo Elegba.
The Air Force base.
Yes. You know, so my point is, these formations, yes, military era is over. If this is the situation, we should start thinking of another one.
Well, just before we think of another one, you know, what we are not talking about is the remote cause to some of these things, because I would love to believe if that is nipped in the bud, maybe it will go a long way to solving the problem. But just before we move to another paper and yet another story, you know, Seta Dulba, let's speak to the personality and activity of the governor, Hyacinth Alia, on this particular matter. While all of these things raged, you know, what is the talking point right now about him is his alleged desire of hosting the president in a very great way. And one would ask, why not put the same energy in ensuring that citizens in your state are secured, rather than going on a jamboree visit for the president?
With all due respect, I like to refer to him as the Reverend Governor. You know, somebody who swapped the pulpit for the podium. Governor Hyacinth Alia is delicious to listen to.
No, he speaks so well. I love the way he...
But the matter on ground has gone beyond what people call homily or sermon or preaching. This is war. So each time I look at that Ukrainian president, Zelensky, for years the man has rejected Thai, and you see he is what the Boy Scout calls be prepared. He is not the one leading the war, but he exemplifies the toga, the mood of war. And
despite that, just to say, and despite the fact that he is a comedian turned politician, and now today he is the president. But no one would ever know, because his desire of ensuring that Ukraine is safe is for him the most important thing.
He took the risk. It's bipolar now. Neither here nor there, but he took the risk to have a session with President Trump in that his outfit, which President Trump was not so enamored about. But the man tells you my country is at war. This is so. Leave his comedy background. He has fitted into where he is. That's a topic for another day. But if we stay with the Reverend Governor Hyacinth Alia, I want to say that it's tricky, but excessive political loyalty can be misleading. What you have narrated, the governor believes, which is a principle universally, his loyalty is more important to President Tinubu. But he was voted into office, rightly or argumentatively, by the Benue people. And so, he is the #1 representative of the Benue people, who voted him via that political participation of the process of election, And so, I expect, maybe because we have seen Governor Samuel Ortom, his predecessor, speaking frontally at the matter, I expect so. If not more, it should not be less. 2, the big people in Benue, I want to hear them speak publicly against the killing of the Benue people. We have heard a big voice like retired General Theophilus Danjuma speaking for the Taraba people. He was not even in government. But so if you are from a place, you are a political leader, and we don't hear, it's not a body language, it's not you visited casualty. We should have, in today's world, if I take my phone, far away, we can hear Professor Patrice Lumumba. Don't you hear him?
Very well.
So I want to hear the Secretary to the Federal Government, respected Senator George Akume, a 2-time Governor Emeritus of Benue, speak brazenly against the killing of his people.
And also David Mark.
I want to hear, no, David Mark has. Just go
that.
to the media, you will see it. But again, David Mark's son, if you ask me, was a bit belated, but eventually he has. I want to hear former Governor Gabriel Suswam speak openly against the killing. If you hear General Danjuma, he spoke, in fact, with warnings.
Yes, very true.
You don't just come here and overrun my people.
Very true.
I want to hear the Speaker of Benue State House of Assembly, who is also elected by the people, speak for the people. I want to hear members of Benue State House of Assembly speak. There should be an army of people speaking publicly against this. I want to hear, I've heard him already, but I want to hear more from the respected Senator Abba Muru, representing Zone C. He has spoken even on the floor. But as long as the killing persists, the speaking, the resentment, the rebuke should continue. I want to hear a Benue leader like His Excellency Barnabas Gemadi speak against it. Dr. Iyocha Ayu, all of you in the public space who seek people to vote for you when the time comes. This is the time for you to demonstrate your political value, because there is a place Senator George Akume can speak that the Benue people being killed cannot get to speak. And so his voice will go global. And look, there is another matter, Henry.
Yes.
Sorry I'm prolonging this. The constitution of Nigeria is clear. You cannot possess arm without license. In the afternoon, these Fulani headsmen carry AK-47 and move around people in communities who are armless. In the night, this becomes weapon. I doubt, Henry, the way it is done out there, if there is any authority checking if there are spent pellets from those guns. If they have been tolerated across 10 years or thereabouts, and then again, we hear it's out there. The government will arrest bandits, killer headsmen, Boko Haram, in a matter of hours or days. They tell you they've released them, they've repented. Why won't they thrive? So, if these Benue youths begin to carry AK-47, when they are arrested, would they be given the window for repentance?
Well, we have been told that the government, of course, Hyacinth earlier has said that he would not condone any form of reprisal, and the people should not go on self-defense. Well, the question is, how then do they save themselves?
President Tinubu has also asked,
reprisal, they can't President
Tinubu has also asked the Benue people to reconcile with the headers, Henry.
Well, let's see how that goes. It's a developing story, like I did promise. We will, right here on Enterprise Television, give you update as it unfolds, and equally get notable people to come talk more on this particular issue. But let's get to the Guardian newspaper for a bit here. Innocent Aduluba, let's talk about INEC rejects a PDP NEC meeting notice without secretary's signature. As someone would say that the role, allegedly, that the role of the APC is to do as much as they can to dislocate rival political parties. Right now, the PDP is without a secretary. Governors who have defected to the APC, like Pastor Omoyeno, said that his future is not guaranteed, knowing he doesn't know who would sign his form when the time comes for election. And right now, INEC is even saying that they don't know what to do because there is no secretary's signature appended to the notice from the PDP. How bad is the situation for the PDP? Innocent Aduluba.
Let me start this way. Politics is not righteousness. So those looking for righteousness should go to shrines and churches. But every organization, in organizational theory, every organization outlives its founders. There was a party called Action Group, founded by the sage, the peerless Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Chief Obafemi Awolowo is late. The spirit of that party lingers till today somehow. You know, there are people who are falling from parties. INEC should not overplay their hands. I listened to the, I don't know if he's still a member of Labour Party, the barrister Kenneth Okonkwo.
Okay, Kenneth. Yes, he is still a member, but of course...
who said INEC is a department of the APC. If this kind of allegations are rife in town, INEC should be careful. Because if INEC panders to allegations, it will become an established fact. Some people joke where we drink that there are new political parties. Agbero political party and INEC political party. You see, this exists at banters and, you know, parodies. Are they becoming true? Where there is no secretary, Henry, there can be an acting secretary, or somebody can sign for the secretary. I don't know. The People's Democratic Party, I'm wondering, do they have men in that party with spinal cord? People who can stand and talk to INEC. What's their legal department doing? You know, we heard some days back or some weeks back that INEC have said they will not be registering new political parties. I don't know if you've heard of that. Okay. Is INEC so empowered? Can, in a multi-party system, is there a lead to how many parties can be formed? You know, maybe the PDP should come for strategies for free. Let me give it to them. Whether they will use is another thing. Because the PDP, I'm angry with them, they are the leading party depriving Nigerians of the options in a multi-party system. So if we are stuck with one party that we don't like, we don't have option, we are stuck, and we claim this is not a one-party system.
But how much of blame can we give to the PDP, knowing that right now they have been infiltrated? We have Nyesom Wike, who is a very big, undeniable stakeholder of the PDP that is playing anti-party. He is with the APC and still remains with the PDP. How do you think in that condition the PDP would not cave in?
The two things. One, Minister Nyesom Wike, I always say, is a lucky man. He's a very lucky man. Do you think Minister Nyesom Wike claiming to be a PDP member in nowadays is making the PDP proud? Do you think so? What are the PDP rules about such recalcitrance? What are the PDP rules? Are they invoking their rules? Look, let me tell you. If you look at how political parties emerged, using French example, there is this, my book, if you look at by Jean Blondel,
okay.
If you look at the parties don't need the kind of crowd the PDP are looking for. Parties survive from nucleus, cells, wards of strong people. If Minister Nyesom Wike declares outrightly he is not a member of the PDP, would the PDP be better or worse? So the PDP should, I use the word, should have men, Henry, with the right spinal cord. If you stand up to speak, you are speaking for your party. If Minister Nyesom Wike, Minister Nyesom is a lucky man. I've been hoping for all we see, from his the wee days in his last days as governor, leading to his reign as the minister. Nyesom Wike has dealt with the PDP from Rivers and then as a minister, Henry. Okay. Now, the PDP can help Minister Nyesom Wike settle fully in APC and say, this man, we gift him to APC. Because already, if you look, Minister Nyesom Wike is not a displaced politician. He is well located in the favor books of APC. Am I wrong?
Very true.
And he has the same thing the defecting Governor Moeno said on his day of defection, that yes, I have moved to APC, but I'm still in charge of the PDP machinery in Akwa Ibom State. And PDP lawyers are hearing this. PDP board. The PDP is a hope of the Nigerian masses. The same way for Labour Party or any, whether Accord Party. The options, the thing is, there will be a ruling party. PDP was once a ruling party. PDP will be toppled. It's not eternal.
APC or PDP?
No, PDP. Now, we are in APC. It is the hope of the masses that if this party is not the one delivering the dividends they crave, they can recognize another opposition that they can transfer their votes massively to. So, PDP, I'm challenging you on this platform to stand on your feet. Stand on your feet, perform your duty as a political party. One of the biggest duty of a political party is to organize men and resources, canvass well, and capture power, whether it is at the state, local government, or federal level. Let the masses who chose you as the alternative have options to breathe. We can't just be caged. There's no election yet, and the masses are caged already.
Very, very true, Innocent Aduluba. Of course, it's still a very sensitive matter there. Damagong, who is the acting chairman of the PDP, we would love to believe, as according to some people allegedly, is a placeholder who was made possible by the same FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, so people said. So the question is, how is it even possible that the man who had placed you there, you would now turn around to maybe oust him? How possible is that even in the first place? But let's see how that goes though. So let's speak to the issue of a weak justice system, frustrating 1.5 trillion naira a bad loans recovery, judges said. Now, we're very so inundated with weak everything in Nigeria. Weak political system, weak ideology, weak value system. Of course, not living out weak judiciary. It's been stated here that the justice system cannot even make it possible for loan recovery. About 1.5 trillion in naira. Now the question is, how then do you think all the so-called foreign direct investment would make itself available in Nigeria when our justice system is neither here nor there?
Henry, a strong economy is the security of democracy. It tells you that even democracy needs to be secured. The news you are reading, that headline, smacks of the judiciary holding back the wheels of commerce.
Yeah, very true.
That's what that's the implication. If you do that, you are also weakening democracy, because a strong economy is the security of a viable democracy. You see, the judiciary in Nigeria, once upon a time, Henry, every child, viable children, aspire to become lawyers. This is a very sad time to be a lawyer if we are looking for integrity. The lawyers have not clothed themselves in the garb that enamels them to the hope of a helpless man. There must be something. We are told that justice is blind. All their lingo, nemo judes in causa sua, audi alterem partem, and all the whatever. So when somebody graduates in 2025 to be a lawyer, it's just to earn a living.
Yes, because the truth of the matter is they don't have anybody to look up to, because everyone seems to have, been involved in the.
The lawyers are plenty. Glory to God. Some of them are doing well, Henry. But you see, a lot of them are now in there's this man in Nollywood, Nkem Owo.
Yes.
You see, the charge and bail business. Charge and bail. And then, you need this certificate. Yeah. Somebody jumps to do for you. Land, the lawyers we grew up knowing, notably, let's look at people like Rotimi Williams, the great Rotimi. People like Chief Gani Fawemi,
or Oputa.
To a large extent, Femi Falana, SAN. There are people you see, and I was taught by the great, I don't know if he'll be annoyed, he's a very modest man, but I'll call him the great, Professor Alaba Ogunsonwu. Many listeners may know him. And under him as my HOD were great lecturers. Professor Brown Onuoha, Ayo Akimbobola, God rest his soul, Lugbemi, Dr. Henry Koka, Professor Tunde Babawale. Some of them are still there. Professor Solomon Akimboye. There are names I can't. Professor Daring Ologbenla, Dr. Kodri. A lot of them. And I looked at these people and told myself, I would like to be a lecturer, Henry. These are people who will call you, my son, your last semester, you had an A, you have a B, now what happened? You are just going your own. They call you. In that B that I just got, someone has a D. Now they are calling my attention. They don't know you. They are not asking you for 50 kobo. They're doing their job. So, and today's judiciary, look, we hear the government built quarters for judiciary.
Yes.
And that's my worry. In the business of the administration of law, the judiciary is usually said to be the last hope of the common man. Now, there are many sources of law, but I'm praying that of all the sources, the judiciary should avoid the sentimental aspects of their profession, because those sentiments can blur the sharp edges the law possessed.
It's actually quite unfortunate, Innocent, because lots of people have stated that it's no longer about who is the best lawyer, but who knows the judge. That is what guarantees your success.
Henry, are you not here? I'll give you two instances. One, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan accused the chief, what's that man's name, the one from Edo State, who, and the Senate President Akpabio,
Yes.
I think
the one with the
Senator
Labour Party.
Imasuen,
Yes,
yes,
the Labour Party.
of threatening her life. But the Attorney General sued. You know, is it that the Senate President or Senator Imasuen of Edo State cannot afford lawyers? Labour Party were contesting the results of the 2023 presidential elections. INEC were presenting evidences. INEC hired a lawyer there. I thought this is a case between Labour Party and the APC. INEC is supposed to be a neutral umpire. In civil service, that is called the principle of anonymity. You cannot be seen or heard in such a gathering. So, look, I don't know what to tell you. The judiciary. If we are look at the situation with the PDP,
Okay.
they should find solace in the courts. From what we are analyzing, can somebody not already see or predict the outcome and say no need?
Very well.
You know, it's sad.
Very sad situation, but of course, we'll try to see how that goes. And I would love that we continue, but that's just about the time we have for this segment, just to let you know that Innocent is still here and would help us, of course, with our main conversation. That is when we return. When we return, idol worship resurgence in the southeast of Nigeria. It's still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.